Good day, everyone. I am Antoinette Almatuco, and my topic is entitled Sociological Perspectives on Quality Education and Human Rights. So let's talk about quality education first. According to global goal, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. So, quality education is belong to sustainable development goal. And now I'll be discussing the three sociological perspectives on quality education: the structural functionalism, symbolic interactionism, and lastly the social conflict. So first we have structural functionalism. Functionalists view education as one of the more important social institutions in a society. Yes, education is very important institution because it helps people to be literate. Providing quality education for all is very essential in order to create a peaceful and productive world because education gives the people the knowledge and skills that they needed. Next is functionalists believe that education equips people to perform different functional roles in society. So when we are educated, we are can able to help our society and we can able to perform different roles that will make the society better. And next is they contend that education contributes two kinds of functions: the manifest functions and latent functions. Manifest are these are the primary goals which are intended and visible functions. Example is educating the children about the lessons, and the latent functions are unintended or unintentionally learned while attending school, such as following rules and socializing others. So next we have symbolic interactionism. Symbolic interactionists study the dynamics of the classroom, the interactions between students and teachers, and how those affect everyday life. So in social interaction is really significant because I believe that no man is an island, especially on education. When we are in the classroom, we need to interact other students in order for us to grow. And the symbolic interactionism sees education as one way that a labeling theory is seen in action. A symbolic interactionist might say that this labeling has a direct correlation to those who are in power and those who are labeled. So, as we observe, mas maganda ang treatment na natatanggap ng isang tao kung mayaman siya. Yung may kayang i-donate sa school, but to those students na mahirap lang is mayroong label. So next, we have social conflict. Conflict theorists view education as means of widening the gap in social inequality. So we all know that in our education there are a lot of inequalities, and conflict theory sees school as a means for perpetuating class, racial, ethnic, and gender inequalities. So there is also a discrimination. So nakabase sa iyong physical appearance, gender, at kung saan kagaling. And one of the reasons kahit na bakit hihinto sa pag-aaral yung ibang estudyante is dahil sa discrimination and inequalities talaga. And next is conflict theorists see the education system as a means by which those in power stay in power. Kaya kung mahirap ka lang at wala kang kaya, then kawawa ka talaga. Kasi in our education systems, those people who had power stay in powerful position. So, bago tayo dadako sa human rights, and I have a quotation for quality education. The right to education is not only the right to access education, but also the right to receive an education of good quality. Therefore, education must be available, accessible, acceptable, and adaptable. And now, let's discuss the human rights. So, according to United Nations, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. So, everyone has the right from birth until death. And now, let's talk about the sociological perspectives on human rights. So first is we have structural functionalism. Human rights is a social institution whereby modern societies protects its own structure against self-destructive tendencies. So in human rights, there are a lot of protection services and organization na naga-fight o protect sa mga rights sa isa ka tao. Structural functionalists view the human rights as a system in human body because an individual cannot survive without the rights. Each human right needs to function well. Yes, this is very true. If there is no human rights, there are a lot of problems that may arise in our society and in the world. So every right has an important functions that could eventually save to many people. So, next we have symbolic interactionism. The freedom to express ourselves through language, sign, and symbols are a fundamental human right. Yes. If we have the right na sasabihin kung ano ang mga nalabag na karapatan natin. Yes, we have the right na sabihin yon. And for those disabled people, they have also the right to express their opinions through symbols or different signs or language. And the symbolic interactionists believe that the greater social interaction increase social relationship and peace. Yes, kung ang mga tao ay nagkakasundo talaga, if there is a peace talk, there is always a unity and peace, and our society became healthy and happy. And lastly, we have social conflict. Conflict theorists believe that our rights may conflict with someone else's rights or with the interest of the wider community due to personal perspectives. So people is different. Therefore, people has a different views and beliefs. So in human rights, magkakaroon talaga ng problema kung na-evade or nalabag ng isang tao ang rights ng ibang tao. Conflict theory viewed that the struggle for human rights or discrimination, violence, and inequalities. Yeah, the human rights can be violated through the discrimination, through violence, and inequalities. Therefore, kung gusto jud natog peace, then we must protect each individual's rights. And here's my reference. So, thank you everyone. Thank you for listening. God bless all.